cultural and impacting and significant event. This was a significant event. This is almost the template. You could actually look at this as a template for the P. Diddy's and all of them that came through. And the Jay-Z, because they all come from that New York experience.
But you were telling me this, bro. You've been telling me this for the past year. We've been doing our talks.
Yes.
And to actually see it, to actually see what you've been telling me about the history of black music,
of course,
and the strength
and the power
and the unity of black music, whether you're white, black or Latino, it doesn't matter who you are. If you got the gifted and talented, we will accept you. You know what I'm saying? And we saw this in his video.
We saw this.
And it was hid away from us.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Hey guys, this is Roger here on Affinity Xtra. We're here to be extra. We're here to celebrate gospel music of black origin, and obviously myself in the flesh. I got next to me Kevin Tomlin, who I always been talking to all the time on the phone as well, Zoom. Amazing guy, amazing historian. Really rekindled my love for the history of the world and especially specifically black people and black music, and specifically black music, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, Kevin came up here to Birmingham, the happy town of Birmingham, and we actually watched Summer of Soul. Yeah. Now we're gonna break this down, and we're gonna see our feelings and hear our emotions from it. If I gave Kevin another month, he'll be still getting stats and information about every single artist on there. But we're gonna hit out a response to that video, a review of that video, and the review is more emotional. The video was more emotional than I expected. You know what I mean? But you're gonna hear our conversation today on today's show, on this YouTube video. Please, guys, if you enjoy the conversation, check out our other conversations that we have about black music. Also, like, subscribe, do what you have to do on YouTube, 1000%, because we're here to celebrate music of black origin, and we're here to restore and to correct, you know what I'm saying, some of the mindsets and thoughts about us and our music. And all we do is just chat, crime and negativity, and we've learned from other people. We are the true creators. That's a very big statement. I might get in trouble with that one, but you know what? We're here in Affinity Xtra. We're here to celebrate who we are and what we are, as Christian people as well. Yeah, specifically as well. That's crazily cool. But listen.
Yes.
Kevin, now we watched Summer of Soul. Now, I just want to get from you, let's go straight to it. Out of 10, how was it for you?
Well, the out of 10, it was 10 out of 10 and
okay.
9. It depends on how you look at it. It was a significant footage. Doing analysis of the growth and development of music of black origin.
Yeah, man.
And what was interesting was seeing a wide range of Latin artists.
Okay.
And also white jazz artists like Herb Mann, one of my favorite flutists.
Okay,
from
cool.
Atlantic Records. He was signed to Atlantic Records.
All right.
And he did, that gentleman did interesting interpretation of black music.
All right.
He's
cool.
brilliant. He was brilliant. He worked with some of the best session musicians out of the southern states,
Okay.
who worked with Aretha Franklin, etc. Okay.
So the top guys. Now, myself, I would have to say, I'm looking at some of the reviews online. IDB 8.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes give it 99%. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
90.
right.
You know what I mean? Google users 93% of you like the music.
Yes.
Metacritic 96%. These are high ratings.
Tins.
Now, I just want to bring out the context of I want to really hit out what was going on at the time. There's a number of key events that we all know about that happened around that time. Man on the Moon.
Yes, Man in the Moon. Yes, Man in the Moon. And prior to that, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, his brother Ted Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Michael X. all this was very significant around that time. Actually,
Yeah.
it was a paradigm shift, a cultural impact on American way of life. Matter of fact, remember, Motown was the supreme, one of the significant labels at the time with the hit runs of the Supremes.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye,
Okay.
Temptation, Stevie Wonder, the Four Tops, Martha Rella and the Vandellas, and the list goes on, right? So that was a significant and beginning of the emergence of Sly Stone, funkadelic style, fusion from San Francisco. That's a San Francisco funk sound.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So ultimately,
Yes.
we're looking at a mounting part of information, which I love the way the document. It's a documentary, guys. It is a performance
Yes,
show
it's
documentary.
yes.
It is absolutely amazingly put together. Me as a budding doing documentaries and stuff, I'm almost at awe at the whole project. I wish to give me that budget and I can just go and lock myself in a room and spend a whole year working on this project. But what amazes me, bro, there's a couple points that we're gonna hit many points. We're gonna be here chilling out for more than a minute here because we're gonna be breaking down the summer of soul, because we have waited 50 years for this to come out. Now they've appeased black people with a performance by an amazing artist called Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, they've appeased us, and all we know that came out of 1969 on video was a few miles away, or more than a few miles away, Woodstock,
North of New York.
New York. Yeah,
Up
so
north,
it's not.
going
It wasn't even that far away. It's not
No,
like
no,
it was
it was-
miles away. It was
it was in the
drivable.
state of- it was in the state of
New
New
York.
York.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So basically, you've got a rock festival where people are just. It was like it looked murky, cold, and whatever. They're still there anyway. So yeah, the performance on a muddy field. He did something amazing, which some people didn't like because of the style of it and whatever. But either way, take it away, it was amazing. I have to take my hats off. Jimi
Yes,
Hendrix, you
yes,
absolutely
yes.
smashed it. And there's been so many videos, interviews, all about a black American who knew the song national anthem because he got forced to sing it at school. Yeah, he said it even in his performance. And the justification for the interviewer to say that, leave him alone, people, because he served in the 101st Airborne. Like, guys, really, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I cling to as a performance. Then I found out the other day that we had 6 weeks of the best in the US black artists down the road in Harlem, bro.
Actually, I think it was, from what I get to understand, it was over a 6-day period.
6-day period over 6 weeks. Yeah, 6-day period, but it was over 6 weekends.
Oh yes, the
6 weekends.
I forgot it's
Yeah,
the weekends.
six
It was the weekends,
man.
Yeah.
So 6 weekends. Just imagine you're in the
Yes.
city now, yeah, and you're looking at your local park. Imagine
Yes.
6 weeks in a row, you have all the top black artists, full stop, and Latino, and you know what? Not
And
only
white jazz artists,
white,
yeah.
yeah, this is what I'm saying to you. All you could almost say cultural music, and the beauty of it is
transcended, multifaceted.
and it wasn't just
Creativity.
and sometimes, bro, people say
Yeah.
that we're very bullish about saying that we want to celebrate gospel music of black origin, but what you have to realize is that when we say black,
Yes.
we're not, as black people, we don't say no whites allowed. We never say that. We say, listen, if you do our thing, come on board. If you do with excellence, we love you same way.
Well, let's make this very clear. A lot of the music that came out from many of those black artists had white engineers and white musicians in the recording sessions. The strings were sometimes conducted by white string arrangers as well as black. Just like
Okay.
I heard it through the grapevine, it was done at the Motown recording studio, where white musicians working with black musicians.
Right.
So that issue is ended. It doesn't have no
Yeah,
argument, it doesn't have no leg.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was this was a multicultural event with an emphasis on the empowerment of blacks.
And you know what's crazy, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. it actually broke my heart, bro, when I saw so many black people in the same space and just nothing but love. Something was significant at the show at the beginning.
Yes.
Somebody lost their wallet.
Yes.
And the announcer says, so and so, and your wallet's here. Come and pick it up. You got like today, bro. People can't even leave the wallet on the altar.
Well. This is very fascinating because when you look at it, you had mum and pop stores coming down to the event and selling their wear, from fashion, black cultural fashion. Everything was sold
Food.
there. And the thing about it, it was a peaceful event. And people were, I mean, some of the dance and movement, it was quite revolutionary, really.
Yeah.
It's significant. There's cultural, it was like a cultural impact. As a matter of fact, the event was benchmark. It was a benchmark event that sort of prepare us for the future of the 70s. With Earth, Wind and Fire and all that sort of coming on. These are the forerunners to impact this. Because remember, Philly International Record didn't exist yet. Because it came out in 71.
Right. What we check out our old videos, guys.
To check it out. All right. But the template and foundation and the black consciousness and cultural and innovation was there. They were ready. They were hungry. That was the significance, you know?
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. But we have to shout out to QuestLove. Yeah, he's
brilliant.
Absolutely amazing drummer, by the way. He's looking like more almost like Mr. T more than ever now.
Yes.
Oh, I've talked to him about, we tired of there. But anyway, but listen,
I think he probably would be honoured.
You know what I mean? Like, get up, fool. Anyway, but no, QuestLove, absolutely amazing, and it's beautiful because I think there's a season of us, and I think he is obviously a bit more mature than myself in terms of age. I believe not too far off though.
Not too far off.
I think my generation now we realize that we need to dig up some of the gems that we grew up with, because we've realized the guys before us didn't value recording. Not because they didn't realize, it's because it's just a struggle to get onto the stage, you know what I mean, and set up the stage, and it's just truly amazing. But I want to again re-emphasize that it was a cultural meltdown that was going on in Harlem as well. We have to realize that there were riots in Harlem the year before. So to be honest, for them to pull this off, it makes you think to yourself, hold on a second, the perception of us, if you invest into you get back what you invest into it. And I think that, you know what, bro, they allowed us to run our own project. They said that they never even let the police around the place. The Black Panthers, yeah, and you know what I mean. And people said, somebody said last week, bro, in the interview, said that when I see the fist, I liken it to the Black Panther, like a negative things, like they see Black Panthers as negative, yeah. And this is the problem now. They don't realize that the Black Panthers just had enough of us being killed left, right and center, and they stood up, and they stood up in a way. They protected people around the park, and they looked after it, and they were part of a production team that put on an amazing performance, which we're going to get to all the artists, because we're just talking, we just gene ourselves up for this year. But a summer of soul was jaw-dropping, to say the least. Now, Kevin, just give us a bit of I think you got some information just to introduce the whole Summer of a Soul, the guy who was behind it and whatever. Just touch base with everybody about that part there.
Well, Tony Lawrence was part of the cultural industry in New York.
Yeah, man.
And he had a very interesting connection with entertainment figures in the industry. So he knew label owners. He knew all the significant movers and shakers, the promotion people, the A&R people, the radio stations. He's from St. Kitts originally, but he...
That's my people.
Yes, but he had a tremendous skill set in how to put things together. He always... he sort of reminds me of, actually, Clarence Evans. the Godfather, the Black Godfather.
Yeah, man.
Very skillful in networking and building a cohesive movement. And so he was a local celebrity in New York, of course, and he was highly respected.
Okay.
And he pulled it off.
Yeah, he did.
He pulled it off and got the white capital to do it. And the mayor of New York was very much involved in getting this to go, and also the local radio stations. You know, Metro Media Channel 5 was involved, and several other. And what is significant about this, the park where they did the event, which is called Harlem Mount Morris Park, which was renamed Marcus Garvey Park.
Come on now. Yes, Marcus.
Became Marcus Garvey Park. So that's the old cultural change. And what fascinates me is actually seeing the people of Ireland coming together, the Puerto Ricans and everybody, and making this event a non-violent event.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
There was a power.
Yeah.
That in itself was culturally significant. And considering the fact that this particular Harkai film documentary was buried in a basement for 50 years.
That's a sin, guys.
And the gentleman who did it could not get any corporate, nobody on the West Coast in Hollywood or anywhere to actually foot the bill to edit it and to release it.
Jeez.
It has 40 hours of footage.
40 hours of footage.
That is rich, 40 hours.
But
we just saw a summary there in 1 hour. 40 hours.
You know what, that was 2 hours we watched yesterday.
Yes.
It felt like it flew across.
Yes, it flew across.
Like it says, bro, like that's just absolutely a crime to have 40 hours of some of the best footage of artists that we would never see again.
When I look at Nina Simone, she looked stunning.
Yeah, man.
The sister looks stunning. And I realized how culturally sophisticated, and she had a way of actually entertaining that I never seen before. I've never seen that sort of entertainment by a black female.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. And you know what, bro? And I think that it's. You saw black people with dashikis, with afros, right. and you know what? And the joke is people complain about like. It's weird. I said to my friend the other day, when I started growing my hair, I realized that it became offensive to people. Me growing my hair, it's like nobody complained when I kept cutting it off. And I thought, I'm gonna grow my hair. So what are you doing with it? Yeah, have dreads. I said, nah, I'm just gonna grow afro. No, you have dreads. No, I'm not. You can twist it or plait it up. No, that's what I'm plaiting it up for. Just grow afro. Cool. That's safe. No problems. And everyone was like, you sure? You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, but then when I seen this program and the reality show is one of the real evidences of our Africanness is through our hair. You know what I mean? And I think about it, people were thinking like this. People had African clothing, and it was interesting. I was talking to my African friend, and I said to her, I said, listen, look, we were conscious towards Africa from a long time. It's just that every time we started to get that awareness, they kept us apart as a people to really connect back to our true roots. And I think that ability until 2020 was an amazing ability until we all kind of woke up last year and said, you know what, we've got to move this thing forward. And I have to again salute QuestLove, because it's our black men in creative powers now need to reinvest and make things right. And I appreciate the brother for doing that. It's amazing piece of work. Now, again, people say, is it systemic racism? Now, I don't want to harp on about this too much, because we want to talk about the creativity of the beautiful product that we saw in front of us, bro. Yeah. But it's amazing how they had money to push, to do loads of reports with Jimi Hendrix doing the national anthem. You saw all the footage from that and whatever, but you never saw anything from this program. And I had a little bit of a news report that was outside talking to black people about, oh, are you amazed about the man on the moon and this? I said, listen, we can't even feed us in this city. Why should we care? And I think sometimes I think that's another problem that we have in societies that don't realize that, you know what, our governments go and do things and they don't realize that the communities, like our communities, don't really care. And the British people feel offended that we said, oh, do you care about the World Cup coming to this land or the Olympics? And you're thinking, we can't even feed our children. You know what I'm saying? Why are you caring about things that we're spending on money? You know, so there's always a disconnect, you know, that is going on. And there's turn around that the GDP of America at the time was $1 trillion, but yet the Latinos, the Puerto Ricans, the West Indians, the African Americans in Harlem were starving. Really starving, but they came together and put this amazing project on. Absolutely amazing project on. But what I want to do now, guys, you know, I have to say it's amazing product. It's amazing visual experience. The audio experience is brilliant as well because you can hear all the instrumentation. I was shocked myself about the instrumentation, but I just want to start to look at a couple of the artists' performances on this. I'm going to let Kevin comment about some of the performances that we've seen, because I saw artists that I've never seen in my life, artists that I've heard of but never seen them on stage. There's something different about a live performance, bro, that when you hear a track on Spotify, you go, what a tune. But when you see the emotion of the cranky voice, my girl, come on, boy, tell me about My Girl, because I never realized the boy was so tall. But the performance of My Girl, because obviously we know My Girl from watching Temptations, man. So talk to me about that guy who did for My Girl.
Well, Dave Ruffin, who did My Girl, was the lead singer previously for the Temptation, prior to him going solo, because he left the Temptation in the late 60s.
Okay.
And went solo. And he was credited as the lead singer for My Girl. That was their first. That was the Temptations' first #1 on the Hot 100. It was a monster, a million seller, produced by Smokey Robinson.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
With the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
Okay. I don't forget. Right.
The Detroit Symphony Orchestra actually doing the strings, and the members of the funk band doing the session, and recorded in the Snake Pit, which was called Studio A, a Motown studio.
Okay, the Snake Pit. Okay,
that's what they call it, the Snake Pit.
Okay.
It's an intimate setting, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So that's My Girl was a significant one. And then the next former recording artist that was on Motown was Gladys Knight and the Pip. I Heard It Through the Grapevine. That was also a big monster hit. And that is the first time I've actually seen, one of the first footage where I've actually seen Gladys Knight and the Pips actually perform in I Heard It Through the Grapevine. It's quite good, you know, the spins. Yeah, and one of the significant one was the Edwin Hawkins Singers. Happy Day. That is a signature West Coast gospel sound. And I also saw Walter Hawkins in the group singing. The young Walter Hawkins.
Yeah. You saw that. I saw that. Yes.
It's fascinating. The brother looked very well then. And his brother Edwin. And then when they were interviewing, he was saying that we did this song to actually empower. You know, because Happy Day was a million seller. It was big in the UK as well. It sold 1 million in the UK, you know, as well as the US.
So now, slipping on to now, I have never seen this. I never heard of this group before. It sounds. Listen, guys, I was I was in church, man. You know, and I'm not saying in church. I just didn't get out when it comes to music anyway. Still, when it comes outside of gospel, but Sly and the Family Stone, now they were kind of different, you know what I mean?
Oh, they were revolutionary. Actually, they were part of the in crowd, the love crowd, and the psychedelic. They call it the psychedelic, the free love crowd. That originally came out of San Francisco.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a totally different environment.
Okay, cool.
Culturally. And they were signed by Clive Davis on Epic Records. Clive Davis is the same guy who actually signed Whitney Houston several years after that.
Okay,
About
okay.
10 years after that.
So
Because
man.
Clive Davis was at one time the president of CBS Record. Yeah.
And you know what was amazing? That they even said they talk about Sly was a church, well, a group in church, develop his performance skills in the church.
Yes.
That's
right.
But what was beautiful about it is that he had a he had white and black in his group.
Yes, white,
and one of the significant parts is when the audience says, and you know, black people, listen about when we see a white drummer, you're going,
yeah, white drummer.
Yeah, and the crowd's like,
that's right.
He's got white drummer.
Yeah.
Why he's got white drummer for? Yo, they got white drummer because the strange thing is, because at the time they never had no YouTube and stuff. This is probably the first time they've seen these bands live. They heard them, but not see them live.
Well, yes, there's a lot of the bands. There's a lot of the bands, especially the bands from the Puerto Rican and Latin community.
Yeah.
You know, and the percussion level and musical ship.
Yeah.
And instrumentation was. When I was listening to the recording, it was almost sort of flawless at one point. The mixing, the sonic accuracy and perfection. There was literally a purity. There was a lot of innovation, but there was a purity and a quality that was second to none. Really
Beautiful.
It was fantastic.
Now, I do a lot of live events, but to get somebody to, I know, unfortunately, they don't have no Logic and 25, 30 digital tracks going on back in them days. So, just amazing mixing job of the guys there.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They had an amazing team, amazing production team to deliver that. So, 50 years from then, they can listen back to it and you can hear everything. And we know technology is amazing now, but it's not amazing to recover from a poor mix.
This is another thing that this is interesting as well. That Max House, Coffee, and also General Food. These are two major corporate entities, multi-billion-dollar operations that actually fund this event. So what we need to understand, there was a corporate money, major corporate money actually went into this.
Gets you thinking, guys.
And everybody, there was nobody who wasn't paid.
Yeah. We saw some contracts. I saw some 2500s.
There were some major contracts involved, and there was nobody complaining. Managers were paid. Negotiations. There was a lot of negotiations.
6 weeks of, and you can imagine now. These are how these events go, because I can guarantee you, there's mediocre bands on there. When it's a mediocre bands, not the top, everyone at the top level, because reality show is that basically, even like Stevie Wonder was just coming onto the scene. You know what I mean?
19 years old, he was emerging.
I saw these geezer.
He was emerging. Yeah. Remember, he had a few hits already.
Okay, yeah.
But this was the time when he's beginning to develop his own signature and his and showmanship. And musical mastery and a philosophy, a musical philosophy and personality of his own.
No. And listen, when I saw the guy go on the drums,
yes,
you know what I'm saying, live, and when he got in the and he's on his keyboard doing some madness solos,
yes,
absolutely,
a lot of fusion.
Oh my goodness, like it was absolutely crazy.
Yes,
but it's interesting. There's another group that I bumped into, bro, over the period. Yeah, we're gonna get into the gospel stuff, but I'm gonna lead into it after this one. The Fifth Dimension.
Oh well, yes.
Might get excited that one. Now,
talk about it.
Yeah, bro. Like, I heard them and straight away I thought, that's a black group, and it's amazing. At the time, they said that they had to try and prove themselves to be black because they sounded white. I was like, bro, they sounded black. What was that, bro?
Well, okay, depends. This has to do with the state that they were in. The southern states. There was when you talk about black music coming out of the southern states, it had a certain. They were sort of raw soul. They were the unsophisticated type, and then you had the sophisticated type.
Yeah.
So the Fifth Dimension was from the sophisticated type because remember they were having strings and horns on the
things.
And the guy who produced them was a white guy.
Okay,
but he had a knowledge of black music.
Okay,
and
cool.
The musicians,
Okay, cool.
Because they had West Coast musicians
Okay,
working
cool.
with it, so
Yeah.
that's different. And then
All
if the different regions had their strand or body, a collection of musicians that was synonymous to that area.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they say,
Cool.
hey, you're not black. What do you mean you're not black?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah,
What do you mean you're not black? What does it mean? Well, to me, a black sound has different strands.
Yeah.
It has different strands and layers.
Yeah, man.
That's
yeah,
why we talk about music of black origin.
Yeah.
It's origin, but different things, different instrumentations are added all the time.
Yeah, influences, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
we express it our way, 100%. Let me just
course,
move this mic over, Gus, because I want to make sure we capture all your voice, bro, because I know you're too tempted to move over and look at the word.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a bit more, that's the whole thing.
That's nice.
Right, so something that's amazing about the fifth dimension for myself, yes, how the lead with the one of the lead singers, she does look good over the years. Yeah, she still looks. I mean, still looks young. You know what I mean? She's like the same woman. You shouldn't look like that. But listen, we all know black don't crack. But
what did you say, bro?
black don't crack. But anyway,
Okay.
what was amazing? But you know what? He said that he walked off the stage, and he saw his cousin, and his cousin says, "What you doing here?" He says, "Oh, I'm about to sing for the Edwin Hawkins." So it's amazing how sharing these stages now, are bands and gospel groups who relations were doing different stuff in a scene, whether it's gospel and they had that almost okay. So what's up, cuz? But even what my friend said to me, now one of the best ever singers in gospel music is Tremaine Hawkins.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Tremaine Hawkins, a birdie told me, was in Sly and the Family Stone.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Is it? So can you imagine now? You got Edwin. Jeez, bro, causing a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
But the thing that you need to remember is just like the late Andrew Kraut's sister, who did percussions at Motown Studio.
Okay.
Oh, ooh. So they moved between, I mean, they took care of things with Madonna as well.
And it shows like the
music industry is a totally different. It's totally different.
And it got,
Eternity.
yeah. It's like they work together in a seamless way. But
Yes, that is the musical mastery.
Yeah.
They just flow from one thing to the other. It's seamless. You're quite right. Yes.
And what I love about America over the UK when it comes to black music in America, and we will get to the word black because I think they really made a significant thing over this element of the word of black, is that that it was important that for me, how can I say this? Its significance, right? I'm gonna make sure I get this. When it comes to gospel music, in the UK, I do feel that if we put on a black event, the ones who get excluded is gospel music in the UK. No matter how much the artists have grew up and been blessed and thrived in gospel music, they just walk away from it. What I love in America is that they still have a place for gospel music on their on the national stages. When they celebrate black music, they celebrate gospel music as well. And I feel in the UK, we don't celebrate, you know what I mean? My shout out is to One Xtra. Do you celebrate gospel music on the station? Barely. Do you think 1 hour a week, if you do that, is good enough? No, it's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So, so if we're feeding the industry with talent, but yet all you do is give a squeeze, it really shows why we're probably just hitting the glass ceiling when it comes to black music in the UK. But I just love how gospel music sitting this, and this project, he could have excluded gospel a lot more, he could have put less gospel, but I saw some of the singers which you guys mentioned, a few, you mentioned the staple singers. Now, I've never seen or even heard a record from the staple singers, and I saw these people come up and they sang like we vocals that people were like, the crowd was like talking and then they stopped talking and they start looking at you can just felt the spirit,
Yes.
the vocal power, how they captivated the audience. You cannot deny that. And I was amazed by, they had Edwin obviously the Hawkins doing RP Days, they had the
Yeah,
Staple Singers.
that's right.
What was a couple of the other gospel bands that was on there? Because a couple of them I was like,
There was Ward on there. There was
Jesse Jackson had his
and then you had Mahalia Jackson, the
Oh, how can I forget Mahalia
queen,
Jackson?
the queen of gospel. Where do we
Go
go?
on, in my
Where do we actually go with that woman? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
she was the darling mother of many of these artists, of Sam Cooke and so on. She used to take care of them, make sure they're all right. And Lou Rawls, the late Lou Rawls, speak highly about her. They used to come to her house when they were in town to get her food and get a counsel from her.
And
The thing about it is that when you look at Mahalia Jackson had her own television program with Nat King Cole, you know, during the 50s and so on. This sister is a major mover and shaker. She was one of the biggest selling gospel female artists of all time, one of the biggest.
Wow.
We cannot quantify the amount of albums she moved, but it was quite a lot.
Wow, you heard it.
And we're talking about seeing footage of her singing. I mean, the sister's makeup was all over the place when she got going. But you got the message. The message.
She bowed it, and you saw like her and wasn't that lady from Staples?
Maybe
Carol,
Staple.
maybe Staple. Her, maybe listen. And the thing is, they did. I know they never practiced that song. I know they never practiced together. And
No.
They just dropped.
But the thing about it, remember, they were on the touring circuit. And also during that time, during that period, a little bit earlier, the Staple Singers was on VJ Records, the black-owned label, you know. Unclouded Day and Soulful, some of the gospel classics was actually recorded on a black label in Chicago. VJ Records. Anyhow, that's another story.
And you know what was a beautiful story?
Yes.
Was the dad. Yeah, Clive. When not a beautiful the pop staple, because they what I love what the producers of this QuestLove did with this as well. He highlighted the struggle of the black people to get to that stage. So you talk about the generation before these guys in the 60s.
Yes.
These guys were so-called freed slaves that were working for less than $3 a week, 14 hours a day, and slavery apparently has been finished.
In the cotton fields. In the cotton fields.
Not no mercy, no. Not no, oh, let me have a pack lunch.
He got $2 at the end of the week working for something like over 14 hours or more.
14 hours a day, bro. That's
14 hours a day. Let's see. Back breaking, you know, bro. Back breaking.
And then the thing is, it's like, oh, guys, what people had to do just to get us to this stage right now. It's just like, you know what, it is a disrespect that we don't think about the implications of sometimes our behavior and how we've taken music. He had to buy his first guitar after working in a cotton field, and he had to leave school at grade 8 and go in the cotton field and earn money for his family. Jesus. For what? 3 generations later, man just disrespect the effort that he had to do to actually make a way into the music industry. We disrespect what we had to do to get into this thing, you know, bro.
I remember the significant event when Martin Luther King got killed. My dad came in. My dad is a tall man. He's 6'5", and I remember his silhouette at the door. He stand up there motionless when he heard, because you remember Martin Luther King was a significant individual globally. Yeah. And my dad just stand. I just hold my dad, wrap my hands around my dad's legs, just to steady him. It blew him. It blew him out the water. Wow, it literally. I can never forget that day when we discovered that Martin Luther King was dead, the civil rights leader. My dad was paralyzed for a while, just stand there.
And it's like, and the thing is, a lot of people will probably say that, you know what, yeah, and whatever. But the thing is, guys, the music was coming out. The music was one of our few outlets of our expression, and we let loose at it. And what I found with this, again, what I picked up from this documentary, is that basically this music was in its pure forms of, yes, people say things like, I want to talk to your girl and all that. Obviously, lyrics for the opposite sex. Yeah, we get that. That happened there. Yes, still, yeah. Yes. But there was a lot of messages in the music that they was putting on there. And when it was almost the times when I was looking at Latinos, there's a part where it showed the drums. Yeah, yes. And it went for the Latino drums. Yes. And the core element is that Africa has influenced South America. It influenced the whole Latino community. And then you saw a guy who was just naturally playing the African drums,
Latino percussionist,
and you just hear the similarities of the drum being a key part of everything.
And the commentary from Sheila E. Man, she looks stunning, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, she used to work with Prince Band,
Okay.
And she
Prince
recorded her. Sheila E.
Yes.
So we that was one of Prince's prodigies, one of his successful. So you're talking about a woman whose father was a brilliant percussionist, Latin percussionist. The whole and all. When she gave her reflections, she was very much moved. Everybody was moved. When they start thinking about it, said, this is something that happened when we were growing up. And to think about it, that over that period, a total of over nearly 300,000 people attended the event.
Bro.
That means there was something like 40,000 people per week.
Bro, it's big, man. It's big, bro.
Economically speaking,
economically
speaking, economically speaking,
yeah, man.
Can you imagine how it impacted the mom and pop stores?
Yeah, all the local business,
business.
Imagine if they did this not every couple of years, bro. If they said every 2 years, not every year, but every 2 years, we did this from then to now.
Oh, it would actually change New York.
Yeah.
Culturally change New York.
It'll change the world.
For good
for black people.
Yes, because it was developing, and there was an
expression.
There was a positive. It's just like optimism. Remember the track we talk about?
Optimistic. Optimistic. Yeah,
yes,
man.
Optimistic.
Sounds with that on that stage.
Yeah. Can you imagine? And so this is, and when you think about Sound of Blackness, started that same year.
Wow.
69. That's when it started in Minneapolis.
Wow.
There was a lot of cultural revolution going across the whole states.
Yeah, remember that the also before this point,
yes,
they referred to black people in media as Negroes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So so right up into the 60s, even though Negroes, we're not slaves anymore, they referred to us in the public manner as Negroes. So this lady now challenged her boss, and they changed it round about that period to black. Yeah. Now, I just want to say out to I must watch the African minister. I think it's Pastor Michael, he calls himself. Yeah. And a big time minister. I'll call him the Black Benny Hinn. He said that, we're not black people, we're brown, and he got significant. But what we need to shut up and do our research. Black is significant, and we are black people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that describes us as a people. Whether you're me, whether you're browner, whether you're darker, whether you're pure. You know what I'm saying? Pure, like, just dark. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. We're black. It recognizes us as black people, and we need to start using that, treating that as a negative connotation. The reason why black is seen as negative. Yeah, no one has complaints about being called white, but because white has been made pure and black has been made evil, and that's why we're too scared to take up black. But listen, we need to change the narrative and say black is not evil, black is positive.
That's why that's why as a music historian and like yourself, we talk about music of black
origin.
I didn't say brown origin or color origin, of black origin, because of the significance of it on the music or cultural life globally.
Yeah, man.
Very simple, globally. Okay.
It's crazy. I think really QuestLove said he wanted to correct history. That's significance, bro.
Yeah, in itself.
Correct history. This helped.
Very, yeah, because he said to himself, because once he was exposed to it, he said it was basically, in a summary, he found it rather difficult to keep quiet about it.
Come on.
It's okay.
How can you hide, guys? This is what I'm saying. This shows you. So sorry, but I have to put in here, man. How can you hide an event that had 300,000 people over a period of that? So just imagine what else has been hidden.
Well, this is the thing, the question I've been asking as well. I've been asking. Matter of fact, in the Philly Sounds archives, which is a particular university is holding together, I heard them play some music that I never heard before. That was absolutely brilliant. That is kept in the archives.
This is what
There are music from Motown and from other labels, black labels, that is in the archives.
This is what.
That's why I said. That's why I say that people perish because of lack of knowledge, and I think that there was a deliberate, probably cultural engineering to actually let black people perish, because when you think about the empowerment and respect black people had, and the independent black business that was flourishing in the New York and the New Jersey and so on, and the Philly area, and all of a sudden, many of those don't exist anymore.
Bro,
that's the thing that broke my heart. And what was also beautiful about this is to see our soulful sisters reflecting where they were at that time.
Come on.
And I look at them and they look fine. They look they look beautiful.
And they're unapologetically black.
They didn't try and say, try and fix up and justify themselves in a Western manner. They said, listen, I'm black. They actually meant it. I am black and I am indeed proud of it.
What's that try? I'm black, I'm gifted, and what's it? It's,
I recommend everybody to actually look at that footage that Lady Simone did.
Yeah, man.
I think it was the most brilliant interpretation of black, young, gifted, and black. I've never seen that. And the way she did it, and her movements, and her command of the stage, she almost had that opera classical approach.
Bro,
this lady is serious.
This is important, people, because I think that, you know what?
Boy.
If you wanted to do a history lesson on black music, yeah, that was a history lesson.
A lesson, you know right there.
100%. And this is the core. And listen, universities that are teaching black music, just playing that video. Okay, this is our starting point. It's the introduction to our year. This introduces our year, and this is what we're going to cover in the evidence of our music going forward. I learned so much because listen, guys. I never grew up around the full extent of black music, apart from a gospel lens. Which there's nothing wrong about that, guys. Because I realized as Andre Crouch and I heard Earth, Wind and Fire, I go, hold on a second. They must sound like similar musicians, and you had somebody significant as Abram Laborio.
West Coast. He was West Coast, and he's from Latin America.
This is what I'm saying. He's Mexican, isn't he?
But brother, he's a master tactician at the bass.
So he's doing sessions for the top jazz musicians,
exactly.
and then he played for Ron Canoli.
Yes.
Whoa! Listen, bro. We hit them sort of levels.
Yes.
So. When I'm seeing all these, and I'm sure Abram played for Andre Crouch as well.
Yes, they all used to tour and play for. Yes.
So you have significant people
That's
doing
right.
some amazing things. And you know what, bro? I believe that it's important that young black people see this, because we are just producing pure negativity right now.
Yes.
Pure
Yes.
destructiveness
Yes.
for our community.
Yes.
I see young people holding up guns, going around thinking they're special. And I'm going to keep it real. Yes, I will moan about white systemic racism and certain things are holding back certain things. Now it's out. Now it's for us to watch it. I'm going to get my children to sit down and watch this. And I have to say, you know what? Respect. I've been bigging up Disney for a while. You know what I mean? I can't believe I'm bigging up Disney. But we know in England, we wouldn't see this stuff if it wasn't for things like Disney. Because BBC wouldn't be, BBC, ITV, Channel 4, they don't touch this stuff.
No.
Empowerment.
What is done, and remember before that, 2 years before that, the American music industry just went over the $1 billion mark with the Aretha Franklin impact and the Motown.
See what I'm saying?
Right? And then this drop at the end of the 60s decade.
Yeah.
What a significant event.
Yep.
This look what
I'm
happened. Look at the production that the Hawkins did after that.
Bro.
And the Gladys Knight and the Pips and so on, all the stuff that they did during the 70s.
What the Pips were doing on the stage? What were the bro? That man with this money, bro. Listen, listen, guys. You know what? I watched. I know my friend Lady T. She sees me as a moody person sometimes when I talk about performances. Sit down and watch this video for performance if you're an artist, and look at yourself and tell yourself, do I actually look convinced? This is why I say gospel artists in the UK need to step up on their performance level. When you're looking at these guys to what they wear, you know what I'm saying? The Edwin Hawkins in them green suits. You know what I'm saying? They're matching suits. Everything fitted the same way, no matter what size you are.
And Edwin Hawkins, at his age at that time, was a master at the piano. He was a brilliant pianist.
Yeah, man.
He was a master pianist.
Listen, bro. There was some masters out there, bro. Absolutely masters, and actually really, really, really crazy. And it's just great that, you know, it's something to be proud and to be black about. It's so funny when they talked about going to the moon and about we don't care as black people because it don't affect us.
They give them monkeys, really.
Lisa,
have the time for that.
Lisa, mate, you know, we're too busy trying to survive here.
You know
what I'm saying?
Trying to make. Look, the thing about we need to understand, this was a cultural and impacting and significant event. This was a significant event. This is almost the template. You could actually look at this as a template for the P. Diddy's and all of them that came through, and the Jay-Z, because they all come from that New York experience.
But you were telling me this, bro. You've been telling me this for the past year. We've been doing our talks.
Yes.
And to actually see it, to actually see what you've been telling me about the history of black music,
of course,
and the strength
and the power
and the unity of black music, whether you're white, black or Latino, it doesn't matter who you are. If you got the gifted and talented, we will accept you. You know what I'm saying? And we saw this in his video. And it was hid away from us. And I would say hid away. And I never forget that guy that was in tears at the end, because he was there as a 4-year-old.
Yeah. And the other one was 19.
Yes. You know what I mean? And the guy was in tears. And people going, oh, why is he crying for? We don't get it. It's because what you've taken away from us. You don't realize what you've taken away from us. You've took away a chance for us to continue move in a positive nature from a negative trauma into positivity. And you know what they brought in about apartheid? Yeah, because they had a South African artist on the stage. And what we have to realize is that here in England, we keep on pretending like these things don't affect us, but these things affect Afro-Caribbeans. These things affect black people in the UK as well. And we need to have a black positive culture. And you would say, as a Christian, Roger, why are you hyping about this? I'm hyping about this because I'm sick to death of us living a cultural lie to suit a lie. And you know what I mean? A white lie is not good, and we're seeing too many white lies to cover up, and to cover up. Oh, Elvis is the king. I love Elvis. Elvis was this whole rolling around with the black man them, and he just was the right face for them to push forward. You know what I mean? But at the same time, as you always tell me, bro, there was another artist at the time that was selling as much records as Elvis and was a black man. What's his name again, bro?
Fats Domino.
And do you research on him?
And Fats Domino, the producer, the late David Bartholomew, was one of the most successful black producers in the 50s. Successful. He had the Midas touch. He was doing hits after hits, brother. Million sellers after million sellers out of New Orleans. Read my book and you find out. But you know,
just drop that in there. 100% shameless plug. Let's plug that, man. Let's plug that all day long.
Yeah.
But go on, bro. Okay. Go on. You come in because I've been getting a bit emotional on this. Go on.
This has actually caused a revolution in my head. And an emotional one, because I'm reflecting on the time I was growing up during the 60s and the things that I had to cope with as a black student, right? And actually watching how my dad had to actually operate as a minister, black minister, in that particular environment. And it was fascinating. I didn't know this until the other day when a retired Anglican clergyman told me that he knew about my dad from the 60s.
Wow.
He knew about my dad. My dad was actually significant, and he knew about the S.U. Thompsons and all those people. They know that. The word was getting around. Whether the press said it or not, they knew that because at one time or the other, they crossed paths.
Jesus. Bro.
And when the guy discovered that it was my dad, we almost start crying because it was significant. He said, that is a significant. He said, as a clergyman and an Anglican minister, he was actually inspired about what these black preachers did.
Out of pure frustration,
and the delivery.
Yeah.
He's, as far as he's concerned, some of the greatest preachers that he ever heard were black.
And they come from being rejection. From rejection, and they stayed with Christ and moved forward.
I can't, brother. I cannot. I'm just about trying to comprehend what happened to my dad and so forth, and my uncles and so on. Okay,
bro.
Look. I want to tell you, audience, we are absolutely resolute. We're fearless. We're going to actually leave this planet empty concerning music and cultural significance of black people.
Come on now, bro.
I am not going to let it pass. Right? When Roger let me see this footage, it was difficult for me to sleep. I'm just thinking about so many events. Significant cultural events that transpired amongst black people internationally. And what people don't realize, that when you think about the Bob Marley experience, Bob Marley was listening to these things, you know. He was listening to those things. That's why he was listening to it and interpreting it according to his cultural experience, being his father a sergeant, an officer in the British Army, and his wife and his mother was black.
Wow.
Can you imagine that cultural mix? What was going on? The significance of it. So when I actually look at this event and seeing Herb Mann, one of my favorite white flutists playing, that was the first time I actually seen a footage with him performing. And I said, whoa, now I know why I liked this white artist. Because he has black blood. He's just playing, he's a Jewish brother. And he's just, well, let's just not even go down there. That's another discussion. Yeah,
cool.
But actually, when Roger brought my attention to the fifth dimension, and I said, whoa, the penny drop. Yeah. Yes. Boy, the fifth dimension was, they were excellent, bro. Listen.
The Sunshine track, yeah.
Oh,
that Sunshine track, I've heard it all the time, yeah. You know what I'm saying? the sunshine.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, listen, man. Yo, there's some, you know. And guys, you know what? We can go on for a long time about this, and I think what's been good for this, guys, is helped me actually understand a bit more about the whole music. So as we carry on looking at and going into things and having a conversation with Kevin, you know, we have our Zoom meetings and we put them online. We actually do a Zoom meetings live on a weekend, and we put it on YouTube because we understand the significance of our conversations, and we're not here to waste any word that we say. So whether you like. Absolutely. Whether you like it or not. But what I want to do, what I do want to say, I have to salute Disney because through their star content, they've made it available for all around the world, because obviously people can book it. There's so many things we can learn from this. But my main thing, bro, is that everybody, black and white, need to watch this here.
This is absolutely
because
culturally
we talk about all we've been had is for 50. All my life, I've heard about Woodstock. That's all I heard. Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix, Woodstock, and it was an amazing. I had to refresh myself, and it's an amazing performance. But the reality show is that round the corner, I heard murmurs about this about a year ago, and they were working on this about a year or so ago, and I thought, really? And now it's landed. Oh my goodness sake!
And the thing about it, since it's released this year during the summer, is probably now made about, it started $2.7 million in streaming, but I think it's probably getting close to about 10 million. By the time this run its, well, it would never stop earning, because as it becomes available for schools and everything.
Yeah.
This is to me, this is the template and the learning requirement. If we're talking about music history or talking about American life in general, this is actually a footage, just like Neil Young and so forth. Neil Young would say, this is like Motown. These are the soundtracks of American cultural life and globally speaking. It cannot be ignored. Because the commercial success of music in the music industry actually comes from that, the skill set. Because the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Metallica. Yes, sorry.
Metallica. That's something I can say.
Yeah, and also the other major bands like U2 and so forth, and Police. They all learned their musical personality and musical intelligence from studying music of black origin.
Jeez.
That's the bottom line. Because if music of black origin didn't get involved in the industry, I can assure you it will be boring. Hello, it'd be absolutely boring.
It'd be like having chicken with pepper on.
Yeah, because when I see the footage of Sly Stone and the movements on stage,
you put it in, bro. Put it in, man. You know, it's like it's just
yeah.
And the last track, higher. Listen, man. Yo. Absolutely amazing, and it's just amazing to see the love between the gospel artists and
they love each other. They were just dancing and having a good time,
and they appreciate it. As was it Reverend? What's that Reverend guy that was talking about it?
Reverend Jesse Jackson.
No, the other one.
Oh, you mean the other one?
Alvin, is it Alvin?
Alvin Sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love it. I really love him actually, because he always gives a good analysis of the situation.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the reality show is that the church has been the spiritual hub of our people in these struggles. It's been their spiritual outlet.
Yes.
And
that's exactly.
The Americans appreciated it and got it, but I don't think we get it over here. I don't think we appreciate and understand what part spirituality plays, Christian spirituality plays in our community. And I know as a body we haven't maximized that at all. But listen, guys, we have to come down, because we can carry, bro, we're clocking over an hour now, so we just guys, I hope you get this emotion of this, and I would 100% tell you right now, to go and watch this. Is there any significant thing that we missed out so far, bro, that you want to come across?
Well,
before we go,
when we let's summarize it.
Coming down.
Summarize it. It is actually part of the foundation that actually build the multinational music labels and productions prior to this event and after. It's almost a creative button change where the next generation, because remember, QuestLove grew up during a time when his parents were talking about the great legendary performers. He heard about it. That's why QuestLove actually went and researched the sounds.
come on.
Because he went on an exploration. And that's what we're doing. We're going back and actually revisiting, like the Renaissance, where we're revisiting and discovering the true mastery of these great artists and creators, the creative power brokers behind them. And Tony Lawrence is such a culturally amazing man, considering what he pulled off over that 6 weeks. He should be actually studied and should be, and if he has any family left, whoever is family of his, should celebrate this man, because this to me is one of the most significant events that I've ever seen in the 20th century.
You heard
I'm
it
finished.
here.
I can't say any more about it.
Well, that's special, bro. That's special. Guys, I want to thank you again for listening. I hope you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I hope you, we do appreciate Kevin Tomlin. He's come up to Birmingham and I took this opportunity. And you know what? I didn't even know the guy was coming until the day before. And God just works things out that, my wife was watching that show and I thought, oh, it's on Disney. And I said to her, listen, I need to watch this with Kevin, and it's just perfect timing. We never planned to we never planned for this, and it just worked out that it just happened this way. And we're just gonna I'd have to give glory to God, man. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, because some things really just happen. You just have to say, boy, this is God. That's all I can blame, you know.
Yeah.
And but no, definitely, guys, I really want to encourage us as people to really find truly who we are in music. And who we are is a positive image of black people in this community, and we want to encourage that, and we want to say that our music is not evil.
Yes,
our music is mighty proud. There is going to be bad and good and dodgy stuff in there. There's 100% will be, but the balance of powers right now is not right. Yeah, it's not right at all, and we need to change things. And this really shows how we need to change things. Yeah. So guys, listen, it's important to document. So artists, it's important to documenting stuff and keep doing it, because we don't know what's going on next with this next generation. This is why we document this and put this on YouTube, man. This is Roger alongside Kevin Tomlin, live in Birmingham, in Birmingham, maybe not live, pre-recorded, and we're over now. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the Ed show today, and do sign in to us from affinityextra.com, and do check out our station, man. Enough love, Roger and Kevin, over and out.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.